Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first Week 5 match that I'm watching. We have the SimCity Sableyes versus the Spectral Steel Fencing Club. Both these teams have done pretty well, so yeah, we'll see. We see a Sableye Charizard lead as this champions into a Volcarona Oricorio lead. Choosing the Oricorio Ghost mode, I don't know what's that, Sensu. I see it on the screen there, it says Sensu. Yeah, so probably going for that dancer quiver dance, gonna buff all the stats, but it is a little scary to go for that when this Sableye could have an Encore. Neither of you are dark types, so it's a bit of a risk. Charizard gonna put out a little bit of pressure here, can definitely do some damage to both these Pokemon, but I feel like there's a lot more offensive pressure coming from the Spectral Steel Fencing Club here. But yeah, with their things, they could maybe be pressuring Sableye here. We see immediate Terra to Dragon as Fake Out goes into Volcarona. Gonna stop it from doing whatever. Heat Wave coming out, doing decent damage to both. Obviously, Volcarona flinches. Revelation Dance doing exactly 50 to Sableye. And we see he's not Citrus, and he likes to run Citrus. Went into Yellow and didn't eat it. But yeah, that Fake Out was very good there. You got the Terra, and they didn't even get to use their move. So now Terra's out for the rest of the game. Now, unfortunately, it is a Dragon Terra Volcarona, which none of these Pokemon can handle that well. And you know that this next Revelation Dance might kill you, so Quiver Dance, Revelation Dance, this could all be on the table. So we see Oricorio actually protects as Air Slash goes into Volcarona. Unfortunate crit there. And another flinch from Air Slash. Foul Play going into Oricorio, gonna get protected. Yeah, it's Volcarona now flinched twice in a row. Obviously, Fake Out was guaranteed, but that 30% Air Slash, that's certainly not helping the Spectral Steel Fencing Club. So they're going to swap to Rillaboom, put Fake Out pressure back on the field, as Oricorio is now Encored into Protect. Not going to matter, though, as it does get KO'd by Charizard. So, Sableye and Rillaboom going to get the Grassy Terrain healing as Hisuian Gudra hits the field. I wonder what is going to go for here. This Charizard itself not taking a point of damage here, although I wouldn't be surprised if Fake Out goes into him this turn with Rillaboom on the field. Maybe like a Fake Out. I think we've seen like Shelter Gudra before. Yep, there is the Fake Out. Charizard not going to be able to go this turn. And yeah, I called it exactly into Shelter Gudra. Probably actually doing a lot to Rillaboom. That's going to KO him next turn if, nothing changes. But, you're certainly faster. And Encore pressure is still here, so this Hisuian Gudra could be encored into Shelter now. You always have to be really careful when Sableye is on the field. That is what's going to happen. Heat Wave is going to come out, do not a ton of damage, as Hisuian Gudra is forced to go for that Shelter again. So yeah, if you're the Spectral Steel Fencing Club, you have to take out this Sableye soon, because this Hisuian Gudra can be like a menace, but it's going to be locked into Shelter for the rest of the game as long as Sableye is alive here. Just once again proving how scary that Prankster Encore is. Actually swapping to Urshifu as Volcarona goes for Protect, and another Shelter is here. Now I understand why Urshifu was swapped here. That the Wicked Blow always creating is going to ignore any defense boost that Hisuian Gudra is getting here. We see another swap into Rillaboom as Air Slash goes into that slot, gonna take it out. And yep, Wicked Blow. Was that not a crit? It's Shell Armor. It's Shell Armor Gudra, so you can't crit it. Wait, that's fantastic planning. I forgot that, yeah, it has Shell Armor. You can't crit this. And now that Sableye isn't on the field, it can go for, Body Press or something similar to that, which is a little terrifying when you have 4 times your offensive stat, basically. So we're going to swap to Sableye again, as Charizard Terras to ground. Goes for the Terra Blast, doing quite a bit of damage to Gudra. Hydro Pump coming out, though. It's not going to pick up the kill. But yeah, Sableye being out here now, you can't go for any more Shelters, not that you would. But Volcarona did go for Protect, so that's probably another Pokemon going to be out of the match for a little bit. If the Sableye get a crit here, that would be very nice for them to take out the Hisuian Gudra. But if not, yeah, that's a scary Pokemon. I haven't seen the fourth from Sableye. Yeah, going Fake Out into Volcarona is a little scary because yeah, you see that Flame Body now procs. Draco Meteor hitting Sableye. Unfortunately, not going for Charizard, though, who now has a free Terra Blast Ground into Hisuian Gudra. That's pretty good planning on this the SimCity Sableyes. You've seen this Hisuian Gudra is kind of a menace. You need to bring something for it. Yeah, unless this thing has Protect, it's probably going down this turn. Now, unfortunately, the burn is going to take out Sableye, so we do see an Encore into Volcarona. As, yep, it'll be forced to Protect now. Sableye is going to die, but I think it's done its job at this point. Volcarona is stuck into Protect, and, you know, you do have Urshifu. Interesting to not go into Urshifu there, as they can't Protect against that. They could get the... they need, what, the triple Protect? to get past this, technically. But yeah, it will be a forfeit, which will take us into our second match here. So going to our second match, yeah, you just have to really be careful of Sableye's Encore. It is deadly. You wouldn't think that a status move would be deadly, but yeah, it can just start locking all your Pokemon to moves they don't want to use. Yeah, you know, unfortunately that Terra Ground Charizard was just really good into Hisuian and Gudra, so that setup didn't do much. You see Urshifu is let out to start with Sableye and Luxray Tornadus. The Intimidate is very good on Urshifu here. Now Fake Out Pressure is active, so this Tornadus, I'm assuming, is probably the target here. Usually likes to go for, you know, Tailwind or some other debilitating moves. Now Wicked Blow will, of course, ignore that Intimidate drop. Anything else it does want to go for will be reduced. Oh, we see a Terra Rock Urshifu, and Covert Cloak is revealed on Tornadus. It still goes for Tailwind, Volt switching into Rillaboom to keep Fake Out pressure. But Rock Slide double misses. Oh, that is not good. Yeah, that you basically they just got out Tailwind for free, and now they have Fake Out pressure on your Urshifu, so he's certainly in trouble here. Now, of course, Encore could go into this Tornadus now, as it did just go for Tailwind, and honestly, Fake Out is a bit of a scary play with Sableye on the field. Gonna swap Gudra, go for Fake Out. As Encore does go into, I'm assuming, the Gudra there. Not gonna do anything with the swap. But I mean, yeah, now you faked out with Rillaboom, so you're forced to swap out that slot as well. Unless you want to be Encored into Fake Out, which is just gonna stall turns of Tailwind. Actually, yeah, going for Glassy Glide, I kind of forgot about that. And Hisuian Gudra is taunted. Goes for Body Press anyway, though. Not doing a ton to Charizard. Charizard was a pretty good swap there, resisting both the offensive moves here. But yeah, now, I mean, honestly, you could be Encored into either of those. As U-Turn comes out, going to swap to a more favorable matchup here, which is Luxray. Charizard going to go for Heat Wave, missing once again. Gets a hit on the Luxray, it's another miss. And Foul Play hits Luxray, almost taking it out, but just barely stays alive. Last turn of Tailwind, though, so the Sableyes have successfully stalled out that Tailwind, not taking a ton of damage in the process. They have to use their Terra, you know, they got some damage on their other Pokemon here. But yeah, Intimidate doesn't really matter on either of these Pokemon. I wonder if maybe a swap to Tornadus is coming to try and get back up that Tailwind. Very helpful here. No, but Heat Wave will just take the KO on Luxray. Draco Meteor can hit Sableye, but it's really not picking up the KO. Foul Play doing decent damage, but with the Grassy Terrain and Leftovers. Oh, this is the last turn of Grassy Terrain. Hisuian Gudra will close it back up, and here comes Rillaboom. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Charizard's going to move this turn. Could see possibly a swap here, but Hisuian Gudra could, you know, just go for something. Probably going to try to take out the Sableye so that you can't get Encored. It is going to do that, and it is going to pick up the KO. So we do have a -4 Hisuian Gudra on the field, who's not going to be doing a ton of damage besides with Body Press now. But Sableye, the menace from the last game, is taken out now, so your Pokemon are free to go for those Fake Outs, those Tailwinds, all that stuff they like to do. Wouldn't be surprised if Hisuian Gudra does swap here, because, I mean, it's not going to be doing much. I mean, I guess Body Press will hurt Urshifu here, so I could see that being a reason to stay in, but you probably want to reset your stats at some point. Grassy Glide is also pretty scary for Urshifu here, as, you know, it's now a Rock type, which is an interesting type to go for. I mean, I totally see why they did it to maybe like picked up a KO on Tornadus, but you know that double miss certainly wasn't helping when they went for the Terra. So there's going to be Grassy Glide, which is going to pick up the KO on Urshifu. That's certainly not good for you. Heatwave coming out doing decent damage. Draco Meteor misses. Honestly, that might not be that bad. Just don't drop your shock even more. Gardevoir, or I don't think I've actually said the name of this one. Eva Elfie comes out. I don't know who that is. I'm assuming that's a person, but Trace's shell armor, so it can't be crit. I mean, either ability wasn't great to Trace here, so I guess that's the slightly better one. Air Slash does crit to take out Rillaboom, Moonblast doing a decent damage to Gudra and dropping the special attack again. So Gudra's going to be forced at, what, this -5 now for the rest of the match as Tornadus comes out. See, last 2v2, we have Charizard and Gardevoir versus Tornadus and Gudra. You know, both these Pokemon are pretty good against Gudra and Tornadus, as it does Terra to Poison, actually, which will certainly help against those Fairy moves. Body Press coming out, just barely not picking up the KO on Charizard, but Thunderbolt comes out from the Gardevoir, which will KO Tornadus, showing that this Gardevoir is not Scarfed or Specs like it usually likes to be. So Air Slash will come out now that it's a Poison type. Body Press coming out to KO the Charizard. And Psyshock, the Psychic move, will come out to KO Gudra, making the Sableyes win 2-0. Good games.